Hi everyone, my name's Nicole and welcome back to A Thistle and Thread. And today I'm going to be doing my second pattern wishlist / designer spotlight video for none other than Lindy Stitches, otherwise known as Stephanie. And I really wanted to focus my video today on her and her designs because she just celebrated her 10-year Flosstube anniversary. And I just think she is such an incredible person in this community. I'm obsessed with her YouTube channel. She has such incredible videos. I particularly love her videos that she posts with her husband, Jason, or like the ones with her mother. I just love the banter that they have back and forth with each other. It is just so entertaining and so hysterical. And I love their relationship that they have with each other. It's just amazing. Her store, her online needlework shop, lindystitches.com, was actually the first store that I ever purchased anything cross stitch related from, and one of her patterns, which I'll show in the video, was one of the first patterns I ever fully stitched, and it full on got me obsessed with cross stitch because this pattern was just so much fun to stitch. And she really was just like this pivotal new start and beginning for me in my crafting journey, and I just really wanted to honor her today and this 10-year celebration. And I just think she's so inspiring how she really built a business out of something she was super passionate about from the ground up, starting on an Etsy shop to now having a full sustaining online needlework shop is just so inspiring. So not only is she a crafty creative person, she's a businesswoman, and everyone should go check her out. I'm sure you guys have already seen her because she's very popular, but I just wanted to honor her today in today's video. She also hosts virtual events, retreat type things, and I had the pleasure of going to my first Lindy Stitches event, which was the Nash Start-a-thon. That was so much fun. It was a weekend long type of event where they had designer chats and little breakout rooms where you can just stitch with people and meet people, and super fun. I plan on going to Jingle Ball this year, hopefully, as long as it is allowed in my schedule, but she has lots of events coming up. I will put the specific dates down below and where to sign up, and I'll talk about them in the end of the video. But she really just adds so much value to this community and really just connects people in such a way, especially through these virtual events. It just makes it so accessible for people to, enjoy this craft with other people, because sometimes it might be a little hard to find people to kind of stitch with and share your passions with. And I know me in my area, I don't have any needlework stores near me, so I don't know any people that stitch besides me, myself, and I. So it's nice to connect with people in that other way. Now, as far as Steph, Lindy Stitches pattern style, she really has so many patterns that are focused on animals. And since animals are something that I particularly love to stitch, I'm obsessed with all of them. She really focuses a lot on birds, which I love, and also cats. So cat lovers, you'll love her patterns for sure. So the pattern that I stitched by her and that I just absolutely fell in love with cross-stitching from is called Peppermint Candy. And this just has to be one of the most fun cross-stitch patterns I've ever seen. I started cross-stitching, I believe, in October or November of last year. So we were getting into that Christmas season, and I was just really interested in doing something with words because they looked super fun and really quick to stitch up, and also something with smaller motifs that could be done very quickly and felt like little mini finishes. So this one was perfect for me. I saw this and I immediately bought it, and I bought the floss pack that also came with it. And the stitch count of this is 127 wide by 99 tall, and it's stitched on a 32 count linen or a 16 count Aida. I forget what I particularly stitched mine on. I know it was Aida because I was just starting, so I got just a basic cream colored Aida. And there was I believe it was a forbidden fiber floss pack that came with this. I'm unsure if it's still being sold on her website, but I did purchase the floss pack. And this was my finish. I do not have it framed perfectly. I have not ironed it. I just kind of just threw it in a frame, and I know there's a glare, so I'm trying to like avoid it. I just kind of threw it in a frame because I really wanted to get it up like as soon as possible. So this was just so absolutely so much fun to stitch, and I was really just learning how to count and kind of do everything from this pattern. I know I stitched this goose like 3 times because I was always just slightly off, but everything about this pattern was so magical. I know I started with the words first, and they were so much fun, but each motif is just so dreamy and magical. I know I particularly liked doing the food related ones. So this like little cake I was absolutely obsessed with, and like there's little cups of like hot cocoa, and then like the animals are just so much fun. So if you're looking for a really fun Christmas pattern and you're new to cross stitch, I would highly recommend this pattern. It truly got me so into stitching, and once I completed this, it was full force dive into cross stitching. I now have so many patterns and so many things kitted up, and it's all because of this one. I just love it, and I'm excited to like frame this a little bit better and display it for Christmas, because my husband has like a giant Christmas Lego set and I was gonna hang this above like one of our Lego shelves for that holiday season, and I just love it. It's perfect. I even brought this on like my wedding trip and my honeymoon, and I stitched on this. It just holds like a lot of memories for me, and it's like one of the most, oh, my hair's caught in the frame, one of the most special times of year, and it's just like a really special piece because it was the first piece I ever fully finished. But that was her Peppermint Candy pattern. Highly recommend this. So now I believe this is actually the only Lindy Stitches pattern that I currently own. So let's go on her website and do a deep dive, because she has so many cute patterns that I personally want to stitch. First up on her website that I'm seeing, and I have been eyeing this. So I talked about in my blue flower pattern wish list video that Lindy Stitches and Blue Flower do collaborations on certain types of cross stitch patterns, particularly their Scrapbook series. And the first one that's coming up for me that I see and I just really want to stitch is Snowy Snuggles. And this is part 2 of the Scrapbook like Christmas series. And I absolutely love this one, because specifically my favorite pattern out of all of these 4 little sets is the little budgies, the little parakeets. I personally have parakeets, and I used to have one blue one green. Unfortunately, my little green one passed away, and I have my little blue one still, but I love that. I absolutely love it. And I really love the grandma with the cookies and the dog. That's so perfect. It is just so perfect. And now the information on this is, let's see. It is, stitch count is 185 by 185. You got a perfect square. The fabric is on a 32 count smoky pearl linen by Zweigert. And it says you can stitch the full model on a fat quarter, which is really cool. So I believe that means if you were to do the whole Scrapbook series, you could stitch it with a fat quarter. So you could do like the full series, the ones including the blue flower pieces, like on one piece of giant linen, or you can do a bunch of little pillows if you want a little bit more of quick finishes. That's really just all up to you and your preference. Me personally, I think I would do little pillows just so I could enjoy it more. Christmas is such like a short season that when I finish something, I want to like put it up immediately, and I don't really want to wait. So I think that's why with this particular Scrapbook series, I would do pillows. But I love it. it is just perfect. Again, those budgies is probably like the first one I would stitch, and then I'd be working my way to the grandma with the cookies. It's just so cute. The next pattern series that she has on her website that I'm really interested in, I don't know if I would stitch every single one, maybe one day, but I do have some particular favorites, and this is from her Airmail series. And they're like little tiny patterns that look like stamps, and they have birds on them, which are so much fun. 12 little birdie stamps in this series, and I think I would probably stitch all of these, but it would take me some time. And I really love this pattern series because not only do you have like a pattern for each month, but there's also floss packs. Like just from doing Airmail like search on her website, I am seeing some floss packs pop up. I don't know if one for each of the patterns is all still available, but I am seeing some. But there's also finishing supplies that's offered with each series as well. So you get like the rickrack and the trim and all those things if you choose to purchase it to like fully finish it like she does. And I absolutely love that because sometimes for me, since I'm still fairly new in this like cross stitch process, I kind of like lose my train of thought of how to finish something. Like so far, all I've finished patterns, all that I've done to finish patterns is either putting it in a frame, putting it in a box and kind of just procrastinating finishing it, or making a tiny little pillow. So it's nice that finishing supplies are offered so that you kind of already know what you're going to do when you do something. As I'm looking at these birds, I'm loving all of them, but of course a couple particularly stick out to me. Now I like absolutely love the color palette of each of these. They're super vibrant, but like also very like earthy as well, if that makes sense. I don't know, they're like abstract. So they're vibrant and abstract, but also like earthy. It's like a funny little mix, but I love it. And the ones that particularly stick out to me, we have the August release, which is number 8. That's the ringed teal little duck. I live on a lake. I love a duck. Perfect for me. I really like June's edition, which is number 7. And that's a silver-throated tanager. Probably not pronouncing these right. I'm also loving November's is an ocellated turkey. We love a turkey, and I'm loving the colors of it. It's almost like peacock colors. Very, very fun. It has a little bit of, you know, pizzazz, which I love. And obviously, I love the chicken, which is from the October release. I'm a chicken girl. I'm literally wearing chicken earrings. And this is a Japanese bantam. It almost looks like a rooster. We love. And last but not least, the one that sticks out to me is the February release. It's a very Valentine's Day, a very lovey-dovey bird, and it's a rose-breasted cockatoo. So that one's really fun. But I really love all of these. The color palette's so much fun. If you love a bird, you gotta check this out. I feel like I've been talking about the series for 10 minutes, so I'm gonna have to like cut it down, but we love birds here. We love an animal pattern. So that's another really fun series that's offered on the Lindy Stitches website. Another one that I'm absolutely obsessed with and is just so stinking cute and hilarious is Sleepy Owl Pumpkin Patch. I just love it. It is so comical and adorable, and I've never seen any other pattern like this before. It says Mice Shack 7 p.m. Sleepy Owl Pumpkin Patch with free wake up hoots. With all these little sleeping owls. I think that's pure perfection. And the stitch count on this is 225 by 122 tall. It's stitched on 32 count linen, specifically everything else linen by Mystic Fabrics. And this it actually has some specialty stitches. It has 2 French knots. I know a lot of people don't like French knots. I come from like originally an embroidery background, so I like a specialty stitch, but I'm sure you can like maybe do like a full cross if you don't want to do the knot. And then the floss was used for this are Dinky Dyes and Weeks Dye Works, but again, DMC conversions are provided. And this is just so much fun. I'm loving the flat lace of this. She has the floss like laid out on top of the pattern, and it is so dreamy, and I need to learn how to take pretty flat lays. And this Tobacco Road Weeks Dye Works color is magical. It is like the most variegated perfection of floss I've ever seen. So this pattern is super fun and autumnal and hilarious and cute. And I'm loving this spiderweb back stitching. It's so dainty and perfect. Who doesn't want some sleepy owls on their walls? I can't think of anything else. And honestly, this would be so cute as a pillow on someone's bed. I want to see that. That is just amazing. Next pattern that really stands out to me, and I think would be a super quick stitch and perfect for a little Adirondack girl like me, is called Snack Bar. And it has two cute little bears with a little basket of acorns, and they're just, you know, admiring their haul, ready to chomp down. And I love that this pattern shows the cutie little bears behind. Look at how cute it is with its little tail. It is so perfect and adorable. Information on this pattern, it says these two friends are meeting up at the snack bar to fuel up for the winter. So, you know, they're gaining their pounds. You know, they want to be thick for winter. And let's see, the stitch count is 126 by 87. It's stitched on 32 count. And it's 7 7/8 of an inch by 5.5 inches. And the called for fabric that this was stitched on is a 32 count Vintage Rose Lugana by Zweigert, which I think I'm stitching one pattern on Lugana and I'm loving it. So that would be really fun to try out. And floss is actually DMC with a couple of fancy flosses. So that's Snack Bar. We love a cute bear. Next on my list, and this has really stood out to me over this past year, and I've seen a lot of people stitch this, but this is Beachcomber, and this pattern says, comb the beach for treasure with me, my heart resides by the sea. It's perfect. I love this color palette. It is stunning. I lived in Cape Cod for a year, so even though I'm more of a lake girl than a beach girl, ocean patterns kind of just have like a special place in my heart because it reminds me of such like a lovely and special time in my life. And I love the details on this. The border is super fun. I love all the little oceanic details. It's so fun. So much fun. And it says that this is for anyone who loves to comb for treasures along the seashore, which who doesn't? Who doesn't love to do that? So the stitch count on this is 109 wide by 188 high, again on 32 count linen. The fabric that's called for is a 32 count raw linen by Zweigert. So you know that really nice naturally color. And again, mix of fancy flosses and beads. So if you want to work on some beading, this is a fun pattern for you. So Beachcomber, it's just really, really lovely. And if you're an ocean person, I think this would be a great pattern for you to just dive into, especially in the summer season. Another really lovely bird series and collaboration, which I actually think I do prefer over the bird postcard stamp airmail collection, and this is the Bird Crush Club, and this is a collaboration between Lindy Stitches and a bird-loving photographer known as Chris Gilbert, And this is such a fun collaboration because it says that with this collab, you get the cross stitch pattern that Steph designs that is kind of inspired by photographs from Chris, and you also get a glossy species postcard that is correlated with that cross stitch pattern. So super fun. You can learn about new birds maybe that you've never seen before, and you just get to enjoy such beautiful art. And I also do believe, like, when this series was coming out, you got a specific, it says an overdyed cotton floss as well that's charted for the pattern. So what a lovely little series. I do not know the year that this came out. Let me see. Series schedule. So this came out in 2023. And all of the patterns in this series fit into a 6-inch circle. And I love that. I love it. I love that we can celebrate two artists coming together and making these beautiful creations. So my particular favorites in this series is honestly all of them. There's not one that I don't think I would stitch. I would stitch every single one in this series. Every single one. So I guess I'll just highlight a couple because I can't put all 12 on the screen and this video will be so long. But we love the owl, of course. It's the long-eared owl. It's number 10. We have a violet green swallow, which is number 11. I love the red-faced warbler. I love how it's sitting on a pine tree. It is so cute. I love, love, love the broad-billed hummingbird and its cute little blue chest. It just looks super fluffy. We have the Stellar's Jay bird, which was the first one in the series. They're all perfection, absolute perfection. And I love the color palette. I love that it's a circle finish. Amazing. Excellent work. I wish that I knew about cross stitch back when this series came out, because I would have participated in every month of this series for sure if I knew about it back then. Oh my gosh, this one is so high up on my list. I have been looking at this pattern for literal months and I need to just purchase it so that I stop thinking about it, and it takes up so much of my cross stitch headspace sometimes. But this is Armchair Ornithologist, which I think is the funniest and most silly but relatable thing I've ever seen, because I think once you hit, maybe 25 is a little bit too young, but for me it was 25. The bird obsession starts happening, and I think it's when you start entering your more like grandma era years, this is what you become, is an armchair ornithologist, and I love it. This would be for sure going by our picture window that we use to stare at like our dozens of bird feeders that we have outside, and our little like binoculars that we're just like always trying to identify things. But this is just so fun because it incorporates so many different kinds of birds. It incorporates cross stitch. You have a little hoop on the bottom, which is so cute. And it is just pure perfection, and it's hilarious. Let's see. Oh, it features all of the 12 species of the first year of the Bird Crush Club. So that is a really fun little tidbit to know. And this is 109 wide by 142 tall. Again, stitched on a 32 count. That seems to be the standard. And specifically a 32 count flax linen by Zweigert. And has, let's see, the floss. I'm unsure what the floss is, but I'm sure it's, again, probably a mix between fancies with a DMC conversion. So much fun. Wouldn't it just be lovely to be an armchair ornithologist all year and get paid for it? So lovely. Now, as for a Christmas pattern, we have, I've already done Peppermint Candy. I've already talked about how much I love it. But this one is Reindeer Games. And it basically just combines every animal that sticks out to me. You have a cute little, what is it, a goat? Reindeer. Probably a reindeer. Oh, again, this is a collaboration. Oh, there's a mouse. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought. I keep forgetting that I'm speaking to a camera. But this is a collaboration with Terry Runyon. Amazing. So Steph adapted her artwork to cross stitch, which I love. And you have a cute little, I guess, a reindeer, maybe, and a pig and a dog and a cat. Amazing. And I did not notice this until looking at this now. There is the cutest little mouse underneath this reindeer sheep goat collaboration we have going on. And it's just the cutest little thing, and probably is that, between that and the pig are my two favorite parts of this pattern. I love it. It's stitched on a, I believe, a 32 count antique white. Yep. Linen. 6.5 by 6.5, fits in a square frame. I love it. And it's all DMCs. Super fun. Really fun Christmas pattern. I might have to stitch that for next Christmas. So we've got another series. Because Steph can't just put out one. She needs to, she's so creative. She puts out just like a million patterns for each thing. And I love that. So this is a Christmas series that specifically highlights Australia and New Zealand animals. And in college, one of my friends that I lived with, she was from Australia, and I loved to hear about how, like, their Christmas traditions that they have in that area of the world, because it is summertime. It is so different than what it is here in North America at Christmas time. And this pattern series makes me think of her. I absolutely love, I'm gonna get these animals wrong. It says that there's a cassowary, a kookaburra, however you say it, a kakapo, a takahe, a platypus, and a kioka. I probably missaid all of those ones. And I think the little creature on the barbecue trying to cook for everyone is just adorable. And I love the platypus. And I think is that a kookaburra? I think I've seen those at the zoo before. And it's just, you know, surfing on a platypus. Adorable. And all the other ones are so cute too. And just like a fun way to highlight that part of the world. So that pattern series is really fun. And stitch count is 51Y by 69 tall. This is on a 28 count linen, specifically green sapphire casual linen by Zweigert. And it's 3.6 by 4.9 inches. And this also highlights an Australian floss business, which is cottage garden threads, which I have been dying to try. And I love that. I love the collaboration where you're highlighting different parts of the world, but then you're also bringing in companies from that part of the world to kind of honor that area. So amazing. You can stitch all of these on a fat quarter if you wanted to. Perfect. I can't make a Lindy Stitches video without highlighting some sort of a cat pattern. Myself, I'm more of a dog person, but I can appreciate a cat, you know. Sometimes they scare me a little bit because, like, when they go crazy, when they're mad, they get a little rough sometimes. And I'm just not used to that. But they're really cute and adorable. So this one that sticks out to me is Stretching in the Daisies. And of course, this is from the Cats in the Garden series. This is number 2. And I love the color palette of this. When I was young, I did have an orange cat. So this reminds me of that. And also my husband grew up with like a very fat orange cat. And I think he would really enjoy this pattern because it looks a lot like his cat from back in the day. So this one is just really precious. And it is 64 by 96 for the stitch count. Stitched on a 32 count linen, 4 by 6 inches, fits in a standard 5 by 7 frame. We love that. And the fabric is a 32 count vintage blue whisper linen by Swiger, which I have seen before and I love. I think I was looking at that fabric for one of my like Nora Corbett's or something like that. It's a really beautiful light blue. And I can see in the reviews that some people have stitched this and it looks so cute. Oh my gosh, yes, this is adorable. I'm seeing some color conversions. So cute. So that's another series that looks really fun, especially if you're a cat person. Go check it out. Another series that really sticks out to me, and these are finished in tarts, which I've never done a tart finish before, but I just think they are so lovely. And this is the Happy Habitats finish or series. And these are just so stinking cute and also like kind of funny just how they're named, and they're just super tiny and adorable and lovely. So we have Hedgehog House, we have Eagle Manor, we have Vulture Villa, and Polar Bear Abode, which, yeah, Polar Bear Abode, there we go. And I just think these are super cute, tiny, quick stitches. So the stitch count for this series for each little creation in the little tin is 57 by 57. The one I'm specifically looking at is the Hedgehog House one, and the fabric is a 36 count, specifically a Picture This Plus linen in feldspar, and this is using DMC. And the tart tin is a little 4-inch tart pan with Lady Dot Creates lace. So we love it. We have a unique finish. We have some lace trim around it. And they're just super fun little tiny finishes. Favorites in this series are specifically the Hedgehog House because hedgehogs are adorable and I think it's so cute sitting on top of its little cutie house. And also Vulture Villa specifically because I love that name. Iconic. So another fun series by Steph. And as I'm also looking, we have, and I love this one for the color palette and like the richness of the color and the dramaticness of it, and that is the Jackalopian Tapestry pattern. Ooh, this is dreamy and it highlights a little mythical creature, which I love. So it says for this pattern that the border was inspired by vintage ribbon designs, which is so much fun. And the pattern information on this one is 100 by 100, stitched on 32 or 30 count fabric, which I've never stitched on 32, or I keep saying 32. I've never stitched on 30 count fabric before, so that would be kind of fun to try out. And it is stitched on a 30 count Weeks Dye Works platinum linen and uses DMC Fancy Floss mix. But the colors of this are just so dreamy, and it really just takes a fun mythical creature and puts it in a very, I don't know, dreamy place. I'm not really good at describing like styles of patterns because I don't know, I don't come from an art background. I really just stitch what sticks out to me. So sorry if I'm not explaining it quite right. But we have another set, of course, and this is the Weathered Proverb Set. I love this. I think the one that I love the most from the series is the thistle pattern, and it says, cut your thistles before St. John or you will have 2 instead of 1. It's so cute. I love it. And of course, my channel is Thistle and Thread, so anything with a thistle, I'm like, represent. But then there's also like a really cute chicken one. It says, a bright Christmas foretells that hens will lay well. I love a chicken. So this is just another really fun series, obviously. 52 high by 138 wide, stitched on 32 count. Picture this plus linen in Regency, and mix of Gentle Arts and DMC. And again, these are made into tiny little pillows, well, like long pillows, and has beautiful finishing trim by none other than Lady Dot Creates. So these are super fun. That thistle one is on my list, baby. It's on my list. And we got another Christmas one here. This is just so funny. Again, this I will be purchasing and stitching this Christmas because it is hilarious. And again, I think this is in a series. There's another pattern that's like this. And this is Mistletoe Loitering Society. Oh my gosh. I've been loving raccoons lately. I have seen so many cute videos of little raccoons with their tiny little hands, just like doing the cutest little things. And I love them. I love them. And I need to stitch this because they just want to, all these little animals just want little kisses. Little kisses. You got a penguin, you got a cat, a goldfish, and of course a raccoon. This one is so much fun and such a silly little Christmas stitch. It's so silly and adorable. And it's 91 by 103, stitched on 32 count, blue Whisper Velvet Fast linen by Zweigert, and floss is Weeks and DMC. And using Lady Dot Creates finishing trim. Oh, it's so cute. This one's so much fun. I think there's another one that's similar to this one, and it's like hot cocoa something. I don't think it's a specific like series. It's just like her Christmas releases. And this is Rooftop Cocoa Shop. And you have all little reindeer with hot cocoa on their backs. Anything with an animal and food. It's such a fun stitch for me. Super comical. I would 100% stitch this with the Mistletoe Loitering Society. And this is probably similar as far as information, but pattern, the stitch count is 80 by 80 on a 30, let's see, it was stitched on a 30 count Weeks Dye Works in the color Blush, and DMC and Weeks. I need these two little Christmas pillows in a dough bowl immediately for the season. Like, I feel like this and the Mistletoe one is just so much fun. Like, how could you not just smile the whole time that you're stitching them, like watching your favorite Christmas movies? Probably go really good with Elf, honestly. Just so adorable. And another like super funny and silly seasonal holiday one. This one is specifically for Thanksgiving, which Thanksgiving is one of my all-time favorite holidays. Dare I say even more than Christmas. I just love the autumnal, like cozy, warm vibes of Thanksgiving. I love to cook. I love to have all my family over. It's just one of my favorite times. These two little autumnal Thanksgiving ones are Mr. and Mrs. Delicious. Oh my gosh. It is so adorable. You have like two little turkeys that almost are dressed like little pilgrims. I love everything that's it's stitched with. I love the cat and the gourds and the pumpkins and the spiders and the foliage, the border. Super fun Thanksgiving stitch. I don't think I've seen personally a lot of Thanksgiving patterns, so this is like a nice little special treat to Thanksgiving, specifically American Thanksgiving. I'm unsure if like Canadian Thanksgiving also eats like turkey and stuff like that. I'm unsure of their traditions, but for American Thanksgiving, this is right up our alley. This is amazing. One I love. So this is Mary Mary Needleworker. And you have like a lovely skirt with cutie little shoes that I need in my collection. It's like the bottom half of a woman, and it says, Mary Mary Needleworker, how does your garden grow? I'm a garden girl. And also, you know, into needleworking. And it says, with hand-dyed fabric, floss and pins and scissors lined up in a row. Now, I'm not that organized, but I can still, you know, resonate with this pattern. I particularly not only love the outfit, but I love the quote. I love just the overall design of this. It's just a really unique stitching pattern with a really fun color palette. I love the scissors that are hanging. I love the spools of thread with the cute tiny little creatures on them. You have one that has a snail and one that has a frog. It includes mushrooms, which I love a little toadstool. And of course, you have your little like pin cushions, your classic tomato looking pin cushion. If you're a stitcher or a needleworker or a sewer or a tailor or a seamstress or any of those things, this is perfect for you and would look lovely. I think, let's see, there's some fancy color conversions. So I personally like the lighter version that just goes more with my aesthetic and my vibe, but there's also a like more dark moody option and that's really fun, really fun. And this one is 197 by 161. It is stitched on a 32 count Belfast linen in Bramble for the day garden piece, and then for the night garden it's stitched in Echo. Does the night garden, so the night garden has the same creatures. Ooh, I see there's a little bee. So the night garden and the day garden, they are the same design wise, just different color palettes. And I love how that's like marketed, day garden versus night garden. And then it's a mix of Weeks and DMC. Super cool. That one's just like a really special stitching piece, and I know a lot of people on here love to stitch about stitching. Very meta of us. But it's fun. It's super fun. Yeah, we got some newer releases now coming up on my little iPad screen. Now, this was a Nashville Needlework Market release, I believe, for this year, which is 2025. And this one's called Love Hopes All Things. And this one was quite popular. I've seen a lot of people talk about their Nashville wish list, and this was specifically on it. And I feel like swans were a theme this year. There was a lot of beautiful swan patterns that have been released in the last year. And this pattern's super lovely. I specifically love the fabric that it's stitched on. It just meshes so lovely with this color palette. And it's using variegated silks by Dinky Dyes. I've never worked with silks before, specifically variegated silks, so I just think this is probably like the dreamiest, silkiest pattern to stitch on. And stitch count's 126 by 198. It's on 40 count. Not my favorite count, but you know, I don't mind something being a little bit bigger. I'd probably do this on a 36. I gotta get into 40 count more. So many people love it, and it just has not been my experience yet. But it's 40 count Old Man's Beard linen by Laugh-In Loops, and a mix of Dinky Dyes and DMC. This is lovely. Lovely. Sometimes you just need a swan. And a couple other new releases. Ooh, this one I love. I love. And this is Strawberry Naps. And again, if you're a cat girl, cat person, you need this one. And I watched like half of Steph's like 10-year anniversary video where she's kind of talking about this pattern a bit. And I love the backstory of like how her neighbor's cat used to wander over, and I think it's her cat now, she said, or it's like basically her cat, and it would just lay in the garden as she gardened. And so that's a really sweet story. And you can customize this pattern to your own cat, which is super easy, she said. You can kind of just, you know, color it in and adjust to your own colors. And this is just precious. And strawberries are really in this time of year now, I think. I mean, maybe strawberries are just like always something that's like super popular in cross stitching. I know like the Strawberry Moon Salve's coming, and there was just so many Nashville needlework strawberry releases, and this one I don't believe was a Nashville release, but it was just recently released. And this is stitched with Belle Soise. Ooh, fancy. I've never stitched with those before. And let's see, pattern information. It's 141 by 81, stitched on 32 count, Ash Rose Linen by Zweigert. So that beautiful rosy pink color that just makes that kitty cat pop, doesn't it? Like a black cat just pops beautifully on this pattern or on this fabric. And yeah, that's all I can say about this. It's just adorable. Adorable. And she also has like really fun kind of muted is pastel the right word? They're just like earthy muted colors. And this is from the Endangered Species Club. So I think she has another club going because these are new releases. And I specifically like the African Savanna elephant one. My husband lived in Africa for like months and months and months in college. So, you know, he is very connected to Africa and like African culture and the animals. And I think he would really enjoy this one. And I think this would be really fun to stitch. I love the trees. I love the color palette. Love the elephant. So super fun. Info, baby. This one is 107 by 107. 32 count Silver Moon Linen by Zweigert was the called for. And you have all those beautiful variegated flosses. Specifically one from Weeks Dye Works called Cape Cod. Ooh, is that a sign that I need to stitch this? Because you got Africa and Cape Cod. Lovely. This series has 6 installments and it's running through 2025. So check it out. If you like this one, or there was another recent release, I think. It's the North Atlantic Right Whale. These are just really fun patterns. Check out this club if you're interested. I gotta talk about some Halloween patterns. I like can't not, because she has so many lovely Halloween patterns, and I love to be a spooky girl. I love Halloween. So let's see. Ugh, there's so many. This video is gonna be so long. I apologize. But you know, the people need to see. The people, I'm doing my research. Might not be the most organized video, but you know, I'm spreading some love to these designers. So, Halloween, spooky vibes. We've got a lovely pattern series, of course. So there's multiple in this series. Let's pull it up. I need to go to page 2. Page 2. Okay. We have the full series of, what's it called? Black Cat Season. So these are all lovely little tiny smalls of spooky Halloween patterns that highlight black cats. And these are so much fun. You can of course make these into little tiny pillows, or I don't even know what these little finishes are. Let's see. It says you can stitch them all together in a banner or a sampler style, or you can make little individual ornaments or patches for a Halloween project. So fun. I feel like these would be really cool on like a project bag, or even if you made like a little tiny, if you were like also into quilting, if you like quilted these like into squares, I feel like that could be like a really cool like Halloween tapestry piece. But you have really cool ones. They say Black Cat Season. They say Midnight Walker, Shadow Stalker. Ooh, that cat has some spice. What else did they say? There's so many ones. Oh my gosh, there's like a beetle one. That's so funny. It says Black Cat Singing in the Dead of Night. It was a little cringy. So if you're a witchy girl, who loves a cat, a black cat specifically. This is for you. This is 51 wide by 71 tall. This is stitched on 32 count Blackberry Latte linen by Grace Notes Fabric. It is perfect. It's like a beautifully modeled, grapey, I guess blackberry kind of fabric. Of course, I don't see it in person. Like, I'm just looking at it with the model picture, but it is really pretty. And I feel like it could be like a beautiful base for so many different projects. So that's a spooky one. That's really fun. That's it. I don't want to say that's it because I love every single one of her patterns. I went through all 7 pages on her website of all her incredible patterns. And like I said, if you love anything with animals, if you know you have a sense of humor and you love something silly, her patterns are really, really fun. And she has so many incredible pattern collections, and they highlight so many beautiful things, and she collaborates with so many different artists of different disciplines, not even just like other cross-stitch designers, but photographers and, you know, maybe like graphic designers, things like that. And they're just really special. They're really special. So go check them out on her website. Her website is called Lindy Stitches. So lindystitches.com. If you go to her shop section, she has like a whole section just specifically with her designs, or you can browse her website for other patterns by other designers. It's a big, beautiful world out there on her website, so go check it out. So if you want to check out one of Steph's virtual events, I highly, highly, highly recommend going to one. It's completely online. It is so super affordable, and she has, let's see, the next one that's coming up is Midsummer Stitch, which is in July, and it's gonna be offering classes and Flosstuber live streams and community finish parades and, you know, all the fun things. That's from July 19th through the 20th. Then you have Harvest Moon Hangout, which is 2 spooky classes with exclusive patterns, which that's probably going to be really cool. Stitching tables and more. That is from September 19th through the 21st. And then you have Jingle Ball, which is Lindy Stitch's most popular event, which I need to attend this year. And that is from December 5th to 7th. It's amazing. Those are the virtual events that are coming up this year. I don't know if any other ones are going to pop up, but that's what's on the schedule as of right now. And I just know this community loves them so much. I know I love them so much. So go check them out. You know, so many people find so much value in these retreats, and they've made so many friends, and they've just learned more about the craft that they love so much. And they're able to buy exclusive patterns, which anything exclusive I love. So I'm looking forward to those events. And go check out Steph on her YouTube channel, Lindy Stitches. Show her some love. Go shop her website. She's incredible. Thank you so much, Steph, for like putting such beautiful things out into the world, and for sharing, you know, your beautiful personality and your family. And it just really means a lot. And all that hard work and time and effort that you and your family have put into your business, it means a lot to us as well. So thank you so much. And I really enjoyed making this video and highlighting Stephanie. She's incredible. Again, she holds a very special place in my heart because of this piece. So yeah, you know, down below in the comments what your favorite Lindy Stitches pattern is, and was it one I mentioned? Was it one I didn't mention? I mentioned a lot. But let me know what you guys love to have seen from her. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot to me, and I'm so glad I can highlight these designers and these like small businesses, and, you know, give them the love that they deserve and appreciation. And yeah, it's just really fun to make these videos, and it allows me to have like a little record of, you know, all the things I want to stitch eventually one day. I mean, it would take me like 1,000 different lifetimes to stitch everything I want to stitch, but it's fun to you know, show off the beautiful work that's out there. Go check me out on Instagram if you want to. It's at Thistle and Thread with 2 D's at the end of thread. And send me an email if you want. If you have any like Lindy Stitches finishes, I would love to see them. You can email me at thistleandthreadyt@gmail.com, or you can DM me them on Instagram. I would love to see it. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.